Hi, everybody. Happy Friday afternoon. Look who I got with me.
I know. I'm so happy to be here, Aley. Thank you.
Thank
Happy weekend.
Yeah, happy weekend to everybody coming up. And looks like Kim changed her name again from Kim to Red Dragon to Kimbro. I'm assuming it's you, Kim.
555. I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. We have Bora Bora, and I know you don't have internet, so do what you can, girl, and we understand 100%. So don't worry about it. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Steele. And Annie Bear is here. And Kim. Yeah, I do, Steele. We'll talk about it, though. How's that? You were just posting a video when you saw we were coming on. Oh, you did not. You did not. So you are not, you're Kim. You updated your
different Kim.
Oh, okay, honey. Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's fine. I knew it was you anyway. All right. Lorraine Orr, lovely to see you as well. And good evening to everybody. You were born at 555, old username. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. You just keep me on my toes, Kim. That's all, which is awesome. I need to be kept on my toes.
Yeah. And you think about it, 555. She was born at 555. She's here to bring change. I mean, literally change.
Yes.
And so having this, her picture change and her name change. I mean, it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Hand in hand, yes. And Diane G is here.
Hello.
Great to see you. Hoping everybody's doing fine. So Kelly and I came up with trust your gut intuition. And it's a free-for-all, really. We can talk about this. I think about it when I think about men, because trust your gut, because they don't trust their intuition, because that's kind of too feminine, maybe. So, although it isn't really. But that's where you feel it, I think. You feel it in your gut. You just know something is right, or that something, needs to be done. So, yeah.
Yeah, they say our gut, it's our second brain.
Absolutely. But it also tells us we're hungry when we're not.
Right? Typically dehydrated is
yes, that's true. That's true, because they tell us we're hungry, but we're really thirsty or lacking water. Hi, Jules, learning to listen. Nice to see you. Yes. My goodness. Hi, Sylvia, colorful foresight. Your gut is worrying you. You have a feeling of impending doom. You are not alone, Lorraine. We'll try to be as positive as possible, but there is a lot of things. There are a lot of things going on that are just crazy.
And it is, and Lorraine, and I'm feeling it too, and I think most of us are. I mean, I think we'd probably have to be living under a rock not to be feeling it in some sort of way. Yeah. But the one thing about worry and fear is, when we're in our head. I mean, we get into our head and we start worrying in the fear, and it ends up being kind of like that hamster wheel. And and a lot of times it's when we're focusing on the future too much and trying to reel it back in to be back in the present, and just really having faith that everything is going to work out exactly the way it's supposed to, in our lives, in our country's lives, and friends, neighbors, and everything. But we're human, right? I mean, it's, that fear and that worry. I mean, Aley and I were just talking about it backstage, that, it's hard. But the one thing, Lorraine, is you identify it. I mean, you know that you can feel it, you're observing it, and then it's just kind of, bringing it back in, bringing yourself back into the present, whether it be meditation, breathing, whatever it can be to calm yourself.
I had this happen yesterday, Lorraine, actually. I ended up having some ice cream, and then I had to have a chocolate bar, and then I had to have something else. And I don't need any of that. I don't need a thing, but it is that
comfort.
It is. It's the comfort of it. Yeah. Yep.
I've been eating my feelings too. I am right there with you. And it's been kind of kind of out of control. It's just,
Mhm.
and like you guys, I'm going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing.
Yeah.
But then I'm hearing other people are it's like almost opposite, that they're not hungry, they're not eating.
Mhm.
They almost have to feel like they have to force themselves to eat something,
Yeah.
just to get something in their stomach. Where I've
Mhm.
been, but a lot of times nerves will do that. I will
Yeah.
tend to
Yeah.
overeat or eat my emotions. Or some
Yes.
people, when they're nervous,
When Kelly went back to Minnesota earlier in the year, she had her protection bag of candy with her, and I love that. That's me. I would have done the same thing, except the fact that I'm on that shot now, that I can't do that because it would put me right in the bathroom. But usually I sling my chocolate and bring it with me everywhere.
I know that
And
it was really obnoxious. Well, and even yesterday, I think you guys got a giggle out of me. After my
oh
appointment,
yeah, yeah.
I told you that Tim and I went out to celebrate to a breakfast joint here in town, and one of you asked, "Well, I hope what did you have or whatnot?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, I had pancakes, I had bacon, I had fruit, I had hash browns with onions." And sour cream. I mean, obviously, I couldn't eat it all. I mean,
Right.
I was able to. I couldn't even eat. I had two pancakes. I only was able to eat part of my pancake, a strip of
Uh-huh.
bacon, and
Yeah.
so I have it's all in the
It's the
fridge
old
down
eyes are
there.
bigger than your stomach thing, but
But I
yeah, at
was
least
celebrating.
yourself.
It's like, yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Oh my goodness. Hello, SFW 1964. Welcome. We're glad you're here. And Wiki said YouTube changed her name to Wikiola or
I
Wikolea. Wikolea 6. All right.
Leah 6. I love
That's a
that.
different one, huh? Oh my goodness. Mangled Unicorn, Scott Scorpio Sun. Yay. You're glad you're here early. Yes, I am too, Sylvia. Thank you for being here. MC is 00 is here. Um, the Galactic Show. Yeah. We had a lot of fun on that yesterday. Yes. Create Love is here. Annie is cooking and listening, loving the cloudy afternoon.
Oh, I love that, Annie.
Yes, we can read for you, Carl. That I'll do that today. That's fine. It is like an affliction, but you aren't alone. So this too shall pass, Lorraine. Honestly. Yeah. Regardless of the spoon in your lap, that cake and pasta sounds delish. There you go. Yep. I don't blame you. Not one bit. Who else came in? You went to McDonald's before physical therapy? Well, yeah, McDonald's isn't my best choice, but sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do that. I ate too much cake and have a Hershey bar. Uh-huh. You and I would get along perfectly. Yes.
Yep, me too.
Artist Liz. There you go. Uh-huh. Who else came in? You're to the point today that it made you feel better, so you don't give a darn. There you go, Lorraine. Because this is always tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
If that's you don't have to keep it. Today isn't really about food. It's about intuition and gut feelings, Carl. But because the word gut was there, we kind of got into it. Get it? Got into it.
Yep.
Because of what's going on, I guess, and some of us feeling kind of very anxious here in the United States. So let's just put it that way. Yeah, it is about gut feelings, gut intuition. You've always been an emotional eater, pre-diabetic. 8 to 8. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I've got diabetes too, and I was up to 11.5 at one point, which is, and my doctor was thrilled I got down to 6.5. So yes, it's the beginnings of it, but I've never had to take insulin yet, and I've been a diabetic for 30 years. So, you can do this, Liz. Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Mine just came back and I was at 5.7. So I'm
Okay, that's really good. No, but that's, really, it is really good comparatively. High old silver. Look at everybody's got different, everybody's got all numbers attached to their, yeah. You want everything or salty and it's frustrating. I want bacon and I can't chew it. Well, yeah. Yeah, I get it. I do. She's still battling that she's got to get her teeth back in. There you go. Yay, red dragon.
Yeah, she
Hi,
got it changed.
Venus is here. Patricia says, I had a bunch of unexpected expenses. Oh, this is a question. That's fine, Patricia. We'll put you in the queue. We're just saying kind of hi, and then we'll do some. But I'm wondering how people are feeling about what their gut intuition is telling them. Do you listen to it every time, or it depends on what it's saying? And the reason I'm asking is when it affects us, I think it's harder for us to trust our gut intuition because we don't want to trust it with negative things, if that makes any sense. My dog is probably going to have to go down very soon, and I just can't make that decision. And I keep thinking she's going to be okay, but my gut says the truth. No, she's not. She's not going to be okay. So you have to make a decision. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It's what we have to deal with by living our lives. So hello, Bella Dawn.
It really is. It is a compass that the compass, a tool that we have that we can tune into at any point in time. But like you said, Aley, it's whether or not we choose to do it or not. And there too, that that human side of us. I know years ago, and not that many years ago. I mean, maybe 4 years ago. I needed to run to the post office, and I got into the car. My gut, my angels, everything were like, "Don't go." Well, the post office is only, I don't know, maybe a mile, and and I'm like, it's only a mile. What's going to happen? And I didn't listen. I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't listen to my angels, and I was in a car accident. And then I go, stupid. I mean, I had
I
all
knew
the tools,
I shouldn't have gone.
I felt it, I heard it, and didn't listen. And so it really is trusting our gut, and sometimes when we start thinking too much in the head, that's when we lose trust of our gut intuition.
That's true. And it's easy. It's easy to do that. Like I say, and anytime that, so I love this because Sylvia has a good point here. Are we just having fun in regard to food? However, this is an important issue. I would like to know whether it's intuitive gut versus nerves. Now, I kind of like that because I know when I'm nervous about something. All right. So if I know I got to be at the airport at 8 o'clock to go on a 9 o'clock flight, and I have to go through baggage checking, and I have to get my blah, 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 all that stuff. I have a stomach ache every time. That's where it affects me. So I would say that is nerves. But that I don't take it as don't go. And I think I'd have a different feeling if it was don't go. I think I'd have it more in my gut, but I'd also feel it may, and I don't know if that's true. What do you sense, Kelly, about something like that?
I think exactly the same. There's times where we have to decipher whether or not it's nerves or anxiety, and we really know our bodies best. And so if it comes to making a decision, I would say just really calm your head, calm your mind, settle into your stomach, and then really once you've got a calm head and calm stomach, then tune in. And if you start feeling like your stomach is doing flip-flops or feeling icky or nauseous, to me that's always a no. But it is, you yourself have to be the judge of whether or not it's anxiety or nerves. And I think once you've calmed your energy down in regards to that, your gut will be able to give you the definite answer.
Yeah. You have a fear of flying, Liz, and you understand. It isn't that I have a fear of flying, but I don't like if I have a flight that's going to be like 4 or 5 hours, and I can't even imagine what it must have been for you going to India when you went, but
Yeah.
I would be like a mess, because I'd be worried that I'd have diarrhea and have to get up and go to the bathroom a whole bunch of times, that whole thing. And so it just depends on how you're feeling, in your own skin, I guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Hi, Jen Bowles. It's nice to see you. Well, you have a great time at your party. Yeah.
Fun.
And we feel emotions in our body, so we may feel pain or discomfort in the body when we feel nervous. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yep, I do. Or sometimes I'll have chest pains. I think
Mhm.
that's anxiety, though. Yeah, just the idea that we have to. So, Kim, nerves and gut feeling are different unless it's meeting a serial killer. Yeah, I get you.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have to get our ego out of the way at times too, because
Yeah,
that can
true.
mess us up.
That can mess us up. Wouldn't it be like nerves is a dread, like mowing the grass? But if somebody says don't mow the grass, it's a warning and a sudden lightning storm. Well, yeah. The thing is, I remember hearing, I know yes, you can change it, Carl. That's fine. What I'm wondering about is, I remember when I started doing readings, or when I started going to readings and having people read for me.
Yeah.
One of the first things they said to me was, I'm going to tell you something today. And if you don't do this thing, then it's not going to happen. But you're warned about it. That's all this is. It's like a little bit of a warning. And then that always your choice. So it was like, if I told you you're going to fall off a horse on a Tuesday, you have the choice of getting on a horse on a Tuesday or not. So yeah, there is that as well. But I don't discount somebody saying something to me, but I don't always follow through with the suggestion, because I also have my own mind. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like free will, right? I mean, somebody could say, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna live to 90," but if you're careless and decide to walk across the street in front of a car and get hit, it's it's that whole free will.
Right. Talking about free will, you don't step out in front of a car unless you want to get hit. So if you do, then, you can't say that it was the car driver's fault if you did it and you saw that you were doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to everybody who's come in. Thank you all for being here. We have some questions. Let me see. Carl, I'm going to take off the old question. And let's see. So I'm going to start with Steele. And I know this isn't really a question, but I like this question or this comment. What if someone were to have CPTSD? So chronic PTSD is what okay. So a lot of their gut level instinct relates to the past and old traumas. That is an interesting question. Indeed.
It is.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, that gut instinct, that compass, really requires us to do a lot of healing in order to be really in alignment with it. Because PTSD and just trauma and those wounds can really lead us down another way, just if they're not healed. So I personally feel, I don't know how you feel, Aley, but I feel like that some of that on some level has got to be healed in order to really be honed into your gut compass.
That's very, very true. And of course, we're not doctors or therapists, but I feel as though that if you have the recognition of what your triggers are, then that may help you separate that from the PTSD and what it is you need to know. But that doesn't mean that you know every trigger, right? You may, like for me, I know what my trigger is, but something else may come up that I wasn't aware of. And I'm thinking, oh, that's my gut speaking. I must, fight or flight, And maybe it's something that I haven't handled. So yes, it is very good for us to work through those things. And I know that it's like not an easy fix. It's not an easy fix to work through any PTSD. And honestly, everybody, whatever you believe in is fine. But I believe we're in a collective PTSD chronically each and every day, at least here in the US. I just do.
I do too.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel anxiety, and I feel, I don't want to say I'm fearful, but it's anxiety can make you feel fearful. And I feel like we don't get a break. Every day it's always some new fresh hell. So we have to really try to work to keep our vibration up. Yeah.
Really, really, like it's our job. I mean, right? It's just, not that we don't have enough on our plate, but now it's really having to self-care and really take care of our mental health, because our mental health really is a factor in our physical health. And so, and emotional and that, and it just seems like if you open up anything that has to do with what's going on in the world, it can wreak havoc on our mental health.
Sure can. Yeah. Mental unicorn, you have to learn how to manage your triggers. Sometimes a mood stabilizer can help not be triggered. But if you do CBT or DBT, is that some kind of therapy? I'm not sure what that is, Mangled Unicorn. If you could let me know, I'd appreciate it. I know there's a lot of different types of therapy people have gone through in order to handle what it is that they're trying to handle. But thank you. You freeze, Lorraine? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hi, Edward. Good to see you. Yeah. So behavioral counseling helped you a lot. You recommend a book by Richard Schwartz, No Bad Parts. I think I remember you bringing that up before too, Annie. That sounds like a gift of two other people. It's a gift and a curse. I don't think hypervigilance is a bad thing. Yeah, I don't either.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. And, and there's other ways too, that our stomach is so aligned where, if you walk into a room of people and the hair stands up on the back of your neck and your arms, and that too can be a warning, that, what, the energy is wonky, the energy's off, or, and I'm sure a lot of us have walked into a gathering or, a holiday or, where there's been a lot of people, and you walk in and your stomach just does flip flops like,
Yeah, you're saying to yourself, "Oh no, what's going to happen today?" Because inevitably something does. That's I think people get really nervous around the holidays, and don't want to, go back to see some of the people that triggered them. So it's
And that's exactly it, right? That PTSD again from family members and now having to enter the same room it can be a tough one. Healing, but it can be definitely triggering.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that was a great question, and thank you so much, S. Steele. I know it did morph into a good question, actually. So I just want to finish anybody that has a topic here, and then we'll go to some questions, I promise. All right. And everybody is saying that numbers are being added to their handles, I guess is the best way. And because they're trying to sort of make it more like an email. I don't know. Anyway, you were at 9.8 last month. You were 5. There you go, Mangled Unicorn. Yes. Kidney function is really a good reason why you absolutely need to do that. Yes. Yes. All right. Keep our vibrations high. Absolutely. Venus is saying, I've been playing with my intuition lately. It's fun and confirmation as well. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to play with it. You do. And it will grow and grow and grow. And you'll recognize the signs that are there.
And it's fun.
Yes, absolutely. It is. When our gut tells us something that we don't like or don't want to do, that's when we tend to not listen. Yes, that's my point. Absolutely. That's when Kelly's like, what what difference would it make if I go up to the post office? I have to get up there and mail some stuff. You know, I was just 5 minutes away.
Yeah, literally.
And, you know,
Yep.
she had other things on her mind, you know, but they did try to, and they say anytime that you're blocked from getting somewhere on the, about, you know, like you're ready to go somewhere and you have to turn around and go back because you forgot something or something happens, it's angels protecting you up there.
Always.
So there's intuition again, you see. Angels.
So when that frustration wants to kick in, where all of a sudden there's been a delay, or you get a phone call when you're supposed to walk out the door, or somebody in the grocery line decides to write out a check and then enter the amount into their journal, and you're standing there going, you know,
I know.
really look at it as a blessing.
What always upset me, people don't do that very often, but what always upset me was if I was going to write a check, which I very rarely did, I would have it all filled out. And all I'd have to do is put the amount in. That was it. Other people, oh yeah, I'm going to write a check. And then they're watching the scanning. They don't even pull the checkbook out.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, wait, I have some coupons, and then digging in and really, it's like we have to look at those things as blessings. And you know that those little delays, you know, are and we have no idea what the delay is, but it's just to be, you know, be present in that moment and just take it as a little vacation and go somewhere good in your head, whether you know, wherever that is, you know, for the time being.
Yeah, have a little movie in your head.
Yeah, right.
Oh goodness, I'll start talking to people. Some of them are like, you know, do I know you? And I'll just say weird shit like, does that really taste good? Something I've never eaten before, you know. What does it taste like? Yeah, I know.
I love looking to see what other people have in their
other
carts
people like
too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never said anything like, do you really need those sanitary napkins? I mean, I would never say that. I wouldn't say that, but yeah. Anyway, so Lorraine, you want just a general reading, do you, my dear? All right, let's see what we can come up for you. Patricia Milson, you'll be next. Artist Liz, you'll be after that. And we'll be moving down the highway here. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Lorraine, I am getting that there is something from the past coming up, and it could be family related or friend related, but something that something that has caused some concern, but I get that you're healing from it. Because I get that you're breaking generational cycles, and so whatever that is from the past that's coming up, and I say this only if you can just you know, I say you have to feel to heal, and that it would be huge if you're able to do it. If not, because I get that there's change coming in, and then acceptance. I unconditionally accept and cherish and love myself as I am. And so I get that there's change coming in. There could be an opportunity for money to come in, and also I feel like getting out in nature would be really helpful.
Yeah. It sounds to me a lot like self-nurturing. That's what I'm getting. So don't upset yourself by what you just ate. Just move on to the next thing. But you're taking the time to listen. So there is some of that intuition working, even though it seems like it's sabotaging you in some way. But it said when you nurture others and yourself, then you're providing that beautiful feeling into the world and allowing it to occur in whatever way it possibly shows up. It says it will bring an unexpected result. So whatever it is that's going on will come in for you. You'll be surprised, and it will deliver you from feeling caged. And I think a lot of us are feeling that our freedoms are being chipped away. And for whatever reason, we are still sovereign beings, and we can still, they can't take this away. That's what Viktor Frankl used to say as well. He said they can take everything away, but they can't take your memories away. They can't take what you think away. And I agree with that 100%. So yeah, thank you.
That's interesting, Aley. Tim and I were just having that conversation earlier about being feeling like a person is mentally or physically in prison right now, and how we actually do put ourselves kind of in that, where we feel like we're trapped. And the thing of it is the gate could be open. We just have to be able to just push it open.
We do. Yes, very much so. All right. So I'm getting now more readings here. What we can do is what we can. All right. Annie trusts herself, her intuition when it's about safety. Yeah, I love that. I agree with you there. There you go. Hello, Andre Wami Small, I guess is how you say that. Yeah. You were done wrong when your dad passed. Oh, Lorraine. Yeah, you have some PTSD there. Yeah. All right. Hi, Rossi.
I'm with you, Lorraine, on that one.
I went out one time this month. That's it. In my car. That's it. So I went to the bank, and that was the only time I went. I don't go anywhere. I stay home. I don't. All right. I see some of you. I'm trying to get caught up here. You're in a glass cage of emotions, Mangled Unicorn. That sounds, yeah, that sounds it. Yeah.
And while you're doing that, I was finishing up, I'm doing my energy insight and predictions on Sunday, and I was finishing that up, and unfortunately she talks about emotions, and July is going to be high emotions, a lot of emotional healing coming in.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot, I don't know. Sometimes I can't listen because some of them are saying things like, "Oh, we'll be okay by 2033."
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I won't be around to see it, because I'll be so crazed out. But, you kind of have to just take it day to day. Absolutely take it day to day. Unexpected expenses. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. That's never any fun. All right. Ooh. Well, the first thing I got is the rosary. You don't have to be Catholic to get the rosary, but it's saying here, you're making some kind of sacrifices. There's some kind of sacrifice that you've been making, and that's where the expenses have come in. But it's also saying that you need to treat yourself to the sweeter things in life. Here's the cupcake, and Lorraine Orr can tell you all about that, because she just had that yesterday. But look at the finances. Cha-ching. I'm getting here that things are going to be better, but you have to watch them. Watch your finances. But money will be coming in. Just make sure you don't overdo. But at the same time, have a piece of cake once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I pulled two of the same cards, and so I'm going to show you both cards, and both of them are letting go.
Oh, wow.
And so I really think, Patricia, sometimes we get so caught up in how am I going to do this? I'm not going to be able to do this. How is the money going to come in? Is it going to come in? It's not going to come in? And we get so caught up in how and when and where it's going to come from. Where what I'm getting is it's just you have to let that go. You have to let that go and believe that the money is going to come in, and that you're gonna be taken care of. And I get yes, the money, the money, you're gonna get the money.
Mm-hmm.
But just let go of any of the negative beliefs that you may have around money.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is essential. when you're having money issues, though, you're focusing. We tend to, oh my God, I have to have, and so we're focusing on the lack and not the flow.
The
and so
abundance.
it's hard to do, though. It's hard to do. Oh my goodness. All right. Artist Liz, can I ask if I can reverse the diabetes back to normal or pre-diabetic levels with the ANC without meds? Let me tell you what happened to me. Now, I had bariatric surgery, and I went from 11.5 down to, I think I was nearer to 5. It has gone up a little bit, but I only have to take metformin. I don't have to take the shot. So we could certainly pull some cards on it, Liz, but I think I think you can do it, is my point, I guess. Yeah. They say that if you have diabetes, that you're not able to enjoy the sweetness of life. That's what Louise Hay says. So we have to sweeten ourselves in a different way because we don't want to have diabetes. That could be taking a trip, whatever. I don't know. All right. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. Did Rossi get booted off? Is that what happened to everybody? I tell you, yesterday, Red Dragon got booted off. The day before, Deb Zacco got booted off of my channel.
What?
It's not happening to you, Kelly, so I don't really know. Yeah. It's my channel that's happening on? Explain if you can, Rossi. If possible.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right. What did you get, Kelly? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No. I did. I got that you can. I got that you can. And and a lot of it through diet. Of course, I got diet, nutrients, and vitamins. And I was just telling Aley backstage, I was bad. I mean, I recommend vitamins all the time to people, but then I'm sometimes the one that doesn't listen. And I just started taking my vitamins. It was like 3 or 4 days ago. I think it's been 4 days, and I feel so much better. So, that's what I would recommend. I would recommend diet, and I do get that you will with diet, vitamins, and nutrients.
Wow. So I get here, you're the female. Communication is important. So, make sure you ask your doctor as well. You should always do it under doctor care, of course. But it says here, tell them you have a desire to what you have a desire to express, which is not having to be on any kind of medication, because you're in the driver's seat. You're steering the car. You're the one that's responsible for your own body. And so when a doctor says, oh, I can't answer that right now, or I'll have to talk to you later, or whatever, we need to start stepping up and saying, look, you work for me. I don't work for you, because I think sometimes they can intimidate us. I've been intimidated before. I remember asking questions of a doctor and them saying to me, you have too many questions. Just pick one. I remember that. Never went back. No, but it's very strange. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Artist Liz. Donna, is it in your best interest to join a collective, or is it better for me to go elsewhere? I'm deep in it, so my guidance isn't clear. Okay. A collective of maybe spiritual people, or a collective of, all right. You're talking about a group. Okay. I think so. All right. And I understand why it would be hard to know the answer to that. All doctors aren't created equal. 10-4. Yeah, that's true, Diane G. Thanks for bringing that up. The tribe knew that who you were, even with the names changed in the chat. See, we are all trusting our gut.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're also connected, right? And that we knew it was. Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Linda Bishop, she pissed me off. She also told me that I shouldn't have known the name of my muscle, which was the trochanter muscle in my hip. How would I know that? And I said, well, I'm married to a chiropractor.
There you have it.
All right. Do you have an answer, Kel?
I pulled a card. I got trust, and so we're talking about our gut instinct today, Donna. And so I really think that this is truly a decision that you have to make and really listen to your gut instinct, because then I pulled success. So whatever your gut tells you to do is going to be the right move. I mean, I can do the pendulum too and ask.
Yeah. Not sure if you can trust them. I get here that you're trying to navigate through the whole thing, and that there are things showing up for you. And one of them is the lighthouse. So you are putting your pinpointing what it is right here. And that makes a lot of sense. But it says that your wisdom comes from experience and reflection. And so I agree that trusting your own guidance is vital. I think they're saying you have the answer because you have the wisdom. But look, if you decide not to, I get tension escalates. So I don't know if there are some people that won't be happy with you and maybe give you a hard time. That shouldn't stop you from doing it if you don't want to. If you don't want to, that should not stop you. It's their issue, not yours. So you feel they're trying to do what I do without training. Oh, yeah. That doesn't sound too good.
No.
Yeah.
The pendulum is saying it might be good to go somewhere else.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I just feel like you know the answer. And it sounds like the answer is these people want to go fly by the seat of their pants. And there are some things we can do that with, but there are other things we shouldn't if we don't have the same viewpoint, let's say, because there are some people that are nefarious and they're doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm not suggesting they're in this collective, though. I'm just suggesting that is possible. So,
and I'm getting that you may need to be assertive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that's why tension escalates. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I think that's why that card came up. Okay. Can Kelly connect my guides to check if I'll have a breakthrough this Sunday and be able to keep my place? Well, I'm going to tell you, stop drinking so much Coca-Cola. That's my advice to you. No, I'll do some cards. Woo. That made noise. Oh, it's raining here.
Is it? It is raining?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Lorraine, you like Coca-Cola? I can't drink it.
Well, Carl, I get that it's a strong possibility that you'll be able to. I'm getting that you might need to look at a different. I got choose a different direction. So I get that you might have to look at another way of being able to maybe allow more time or another direction as far as finding a source of money or ways to keep the place. I got communicate clearly, and then I got trust, and then I got success.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to hide this because I have some cards, Carl. The first card I have is I got the snowflake card. Now, the snowflake doesn't mean you're flaky, okay? It just means you're a unique person with unique way of approaching things, okay? And so I'm guessing they're saying you may need a unique way of approaching this, whatever comes up. And some of that is what Kelly said too. And they're telling you to take a step-by-step approach, that you can't get ahead of yourself. You need to pursue something and take some action for something. Now, I don't know if that means you need to see if you can find another place to live just in case, or preparing yourself for something else, but that seems to come up. But it says every end is a new beginning. There's a rebirth coming for you, Carl.
Oh, I love
And
that.
you know, these are cosmic energy shifting cards. So I think that this is an opportunity for you to shift your energy and move on to a different path if that's what you choose, because ultimately you have the free will. So, all right.
And Carl, I get too that you may need to be assertive in this situation too.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Are there any good surprises coming my way this summer? Oh, hope so. I hope you surprise me and come out on the West Coast. All right. So next I have S. Steele. I have a question from you, Mick, MCB 00, Andre, Warmy Small, Venus, Davy Jones, Michelle Krantz, Tamer Can Paulette, and Linda Bishop. No, Linda Bishop wasn't a question. Okay. We'll see what we can get to. Thank you. All right.
Kim, I'm getting that you have a lot going on and you've been juggling a lot, and that they're saying it's time for you to take a break and really take care of yourself. I don't know if you have been releasing emotional baggage that has been coming up, or if it's been actually you've been going through your house and like decluttering and getting rid of something. If not, you may feel the urge to do that. And like I said, coming up for July that I'll be talking about, it's whether we plan for it or not, we're all going to be having emotional stuff coming up that we're going to be faced with. And then I pulled the compassion card, and it says the vibration of compassion shines through every cell. And then inspiration. I'm receiving divine information or inspiration right now. And then this is a good one. And this is the deck that Aley gave me, the Elder Bison, open to increase abundance. So say yes to the abundance, please. And you know, I had a gal teach me back in my way younger days that, you know, when I was working, if I got, you know, when I received a check, when I got a check in the mail or a check from working, I would take the check and say to the universe, thank you, I'll take more, please. And then I'd give it a kiss.
I was also taught when you're sending a check. We don't send checks anymore, though. But when you're sending one, like to the electric company, they said always put thank you on the check because you're happy that you had electricity or whatever it was, rent or whatever. But again, we don't write checks anymore, really, unless you're stuck behind a lady at the grocery line. But anyway.
But you know what you could do, Aley, and for everybody listening, is if you have all of your bills online and if you're paying it online, you can say, thank you when you push that payment through.
That's true. Yeah. You've been releasing baggage. Well, I can see that. I see big news coming for you. I'm thinking she's got a trumpet. I'm thinking, beach time, make sure the beach, because I'm getting housing issues. And as I drew this card and the word house came out of Kelly's mouth. And I thought that was so amazing. It gave me goosebumps. You're trying to clean up the chaos that has been either at the house or in your own life, and could have created an explosive situation for you. But they're saying you're in a slow climb, and that you're getting there one step at a time, and it's worth it, whatever you're going through. And they're saying you get there at your own rate of time. You can be a tortoise or you can be a rabbit. You don't have to be one or the other. It's up to you. And I have to do the same thing here. I need to clean out rooms and do all that stuff. And I've been very turtly. So, oh, Barbara, you still write checks? Well, good for you, girl. Good for you. Awesome. All right, Kim. Thank you. The biggest question I have when your gut tells you something really weird or interesting, such as your gut telling you not to walk by something, but you don't see anything that looks dangerous. Never know what's lurking.
I listen to that.
Yeah. That's good. I like that question and that answer. And another question on our topic was, is intuition different than downloads?
Well, I think the downloads increase and enhance our intuition.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get any kind of answer here. When I get a download, it's faster than it's more in my head than it is in my gut. I don't know. Maybe everybody else is different, but if I get a download, it tends to come here in my third eye area. Can you recognize, or is it in the solar plexus? I'm not even sure. But,
well, and I think it can come in different places too. I mean, I do think that it can come through our head. Like mine, a lot of mine come through my feet, which is really weird. Because I can feel my feet like vibrate when I'm getting downloads.
Cool.
And so, all I know at the time is, I'm receiving information. Do I know what I'm receiving? No, but I know I'm receiving a download and getting an upgrade. And I think all of that ties into our intuition, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so it could be some way, it could be different for us though. Could be different for each of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all individuals. So, all right. So this lady's name is Amy. That's her husband's YouTube. So thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
Play, you hear them through your crown and your heart chakra opens wide. Well, that's excellent. I like that. Yeah. Wonderful. All right. The next person will be Venus. Could you let me know you're here? S. Steele, general reading. Davy Jones, are you here? Let me know, please. All right. Yeah, you can be. Tortoise or a rabbit. Yes. It's so nice to see you, Valerie Illumination Portal. Yeah. Ooh. So what I get for you is first the panda bear. And the panda bear is all about us wanting to nourish ourselves and have a peaceful life. And boy, do we really want that. I'm getting that this is what your aim is. And it also is reminding you to set personal boundaries. If there is anybody that is trying to push the envelope, bust their way in, or, just give you any doo-doo. Let's put it that way. It says here, it's a toss of the dice. Right now, you've got a toss of the dice when it comes to weighing any kind of risks that you may have to take. So let's say, for instance, you want to go somewhere, but you're not quite sure that you'll be. We never know. Like if I'm supposed to go somewhere in September and I bought hotel tickets and everything, and I'm taking a risk that I can go there, but I won't know until September if that's going to be possible for me. So that's just an idea of what this is talking about. But something sudden and unexpected is due to come in. So this might be a really good omen for you, that something good is coming in, and it comes in really fast. It could be shocking, though. It could be one or the other. Yeah.
Amy, I keep getting travel, and it could be literally that you're going to take a trip, or I pulled the Elder Dragonfly, and it says travel through dream time. And so it could be that you're literally taking these little vacations while you sleep. I do think, though, that you do need some reprieve. So whether it be away or at home, but doing a staycation, or really taking some time to recharge, reset, and have fun. They're saying have fun and play. And I'm also getting that it would be really good just, and this is like for us a lot of times, but to meditate, to take that time to meditate and clear your head, journal and write. And then I got fulfillment, and that's where this kind of the joy, the play kind of comes in. It says joy abounds in all areas of your life. And so, and there too, it's one of those things where we get to decide whether or not we're going to be happy, we're going to be sad. I mean, sometimes it's hard. We can't, sometimes control it, but a lot of times, we can choose, are we going to be cranky, or are we going to be happy? And the decision gets to be ours,
That's right. I love that. Thank you, Amy. Yeah. This is a question, and it's following up on what we just talked about. How do you know when there's a download or an upgrade? That's a great question. For me, could be different for you. For me, if it's an upgrade, usually don't feel good for a day or so. I may be tired. I may be, let's say, purging, if you know what I mean. I may have a headache, or I may feel out of sorts. When it's a download, it's usually, for me, in the middle of the night. I got to get up and write everything down. That's a different for me. How about you, Kelly?
The same. And depending on the size of the upgrades, and there too, it can be different, like Aley said, for all of us, but the same. I will get flu-like symptoms. I mean, one time I was going through such a huge upgrade. Literally every part of my body was infected. My ears, my throat, my kidneys, my bladder. They ended up having to put me on a medication that it literally said on the bottle to kill the plague. And
oh my God.
I mean, it was a huge upgrade. And so sometimes they're no joke. And then other times it'll just be, we feel, nauseous or really tired, trouble sleeping, ears ringing a lot of times, but our ears can ring too when we're getting downloads too.
That's true. Some people
but like Aley said, when you get a download, all of a sudden, sometimes I feel it, like I said, in my feet, and then I know I have one coming in, and then like there's times where it's like I sit and I just I write for my energy, insight, and it's like I sit and write.
Yep. Yeah. And and it just really depends on
the individual.
how you get it. And actually trust your intuition to know which is the difference. Yeah. Again, getting back to that. Everybody's exhausted today. Well, we're going through a lot of this right now. So absolutely. Are you here, Venus? I didn't see that you said you were here. S. Steele will do a general reading for you. Then I have Davy Jones. You here, Michelle Krantz, and Tamer Canpolet. Tell me if you're here, please. If not, we will go in and afterwards we'll do a reading for the collective. Okay. All right, Michelle, thank you. You did say here, I'm sorry, Venus. Thank you, honey. That's what you've been going through? Yes, an upgrade. You're welcome. Welcome to the gang.
Yes.
Yes, Michelle. Okay, and Tamer. All right. Thank you. All right. You stay tired. Well, Linda, you're in the heat. Oh my God, girl. I'd be tired. Yeah. Oof.
S. Steele, I get the sleep for you too. So I don't know if it's you're needing more sleep or better sleep or going to bed earlier or what have you, disconnecting from electronics. I do see sleep is an issue, and I don't know if you have pets, but pets keep coming up. So I don't know if you have pets, I'm getting that they're going to need more attention and more love, because they sometimes feel all this heavy energy in the collective, or it could be a pet from that has crossed over has been coming in to see you. I pulled the card, Elder Raven, activate your spiritual connection, which I have no doubt that you're doing, because then I got shine your light. And then lastly, just remember, all of this, that we're going through, just faith over fear, to stay in a state of faith, to know that everything is going to be okay.
You've been sleeping a lot more than usual the past 6 months. We never should take that part of our intuition or that feeling and feel bad about it. We just need to do it. We absolutely do. Yes. And thanks for letting me know that, Jackie Coons. I didn't know that was, everybody has a different name on here. And that one I wouldn't have put on you, but that's okay. Yes. Thanks, Amy Scard.
And rest and sleep without guilt, because you said that you've been going through it for 6 months. So, I mean, obviously the angels and guides want you to know that you're still needing that sleep and that it's okay, but don't put any guilt on yourself that you're needing that extra rest, because I'm betting you're going through a huge upgrade too.
That's true. So what do I get? I get a link here. You're linked with all the other hearts that are around you. Sometimes you feel like there's a missing piece, but if you'll see, everything is linked together on the chain of events. You are building momentum, and momentum is very fast. I love this card. It's got a balloon, but the balloon is actually a timer, the old-fashioned glass timer.
Oh, yeah.
There's a block there and screws and other things, but it's saying, all these things are working toward the momentum of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And then it says you're reaching the gate soon enough, and you will meet the gatekeeper. And that doesn't mean you're going to pass over. It just means that you're at the gate for learning more and knowing more about what your purpose is and how you will live out the next fifth dimension. So,
yeah,
you're welcome. You feel like monkeys were jumping on your bed play? Isn't there a song about that? Yeah, that's cool. And thank you, Valerie, for any comments that you make, sweetheart. I'm trying to put up the comments as I see them if I can. And we do have to clear and release what's no longer us. Yes.
Mm-hmm. To make room for the new.
Room for the new. Thank you. Venus. I'm your Venus. All right. I don't see that Davy Jones is here. Michelle and Tamer. Okay. Thank you. General for Venus. All right. Linda Bishop is ready for a change. She is ready to move. That's for sure. All right. I don't know if I've got the right cards here. What is this? Oh, no wonder.
Venus, I got action. Action, and it says, I step into my glorious future with determination and power. And then I got emerging, and it says, I'm emerging into the light and joy with ease. And then trust your senses. And so if you feel like something is closing in or coming to an end, know that everything is for your highest good. And if something's closing, it's your angels and your guides closing that door, and that something else bigger will come in. And so if you're feeling lost and just not really sure where to go or what to do, now would be a good time to reach out to friends or family. Just for that extra connection and sense of being and belonging. And that's even just being here. I mean, it gives us a sense of belonging and being here. And I'm getting that's really good for you, and that it's something that you need right now. And then just remember, just remember that if something comes up that you don't believe in, to use your voice and stand your ground.
Mm-hmm. So I think I read that you said that the person that your sister, you're going to trial because of your sister, somebody either killed her or she was in an accident and died or whatever. I think that was you. Was that you, Venus? I'm pretty sure you said that. The reason I'm asking is because of the cards I ended up pulling out, and it is you. Okay. You, your sister is telling you to pursue your dreams, and she's sorry that this has taken up so much of your time that might have been done. You've been doing something else, but I agree that of course you would do what you're doing. And she says, I know. It's just that I see you and I want you to be okay. And that is your beloved. It's your beloved sister. This is the card that came out. And it's like, look how much she loves you. She's just absolutely gushing. She loves you and what you've done. She said, you're the one that planted the seed for what will come. And it may not be a straight line, but it's going to be taken care of. And then it says here, on your own, it's time to take some alone time or be single to gain a new perspective, a spiritual retreat. I'm thinking that, you might be good for you to take a spiritual retreat when all this is over, because this is going to be something that you're going to need, and it will be good for you. She said, now I'll go with you. I'll be there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Much love, sweetheart.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Michelle. Thank you. Hi, Chemical Squirrel. What a funny name. That's so funny.
I love it.
I love that. Oh, we're glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, really, Linda Bishop? That's wonderful. A man will help you get your car up and running. That's wonderful. You're going to feel so much better, honey. Yeah. All right.
Michelle, I got delight, and it says, I delight in everything in my world, and divine joy fills me. And then the next card was peace. And so they kind of go hand in hand. I breathe deeply, knowing that all is well in my universe. And so, and then be present. And so really, really, really hone into the fact that, make peace your priority, and but not only making peace your priority, but delight in the joys of life. I did pull family reaching out, and so I do think that could be your family that has crossed over, but maybe there'll be family here in the physical world that reaches out. But I do feel like it is your dad. I think it's your dad and your brother that have passed, and they also want you to know that you are on the right path. So at times where we feel like, am I doing this right? Am I on the right path? Should I be doing something different? They want you to know that you're right on path. And then lastly, just keep an eye in the sky for keep an eye on the sky for weather around you. I'm not sure where you live, but just keep an eye on the weather.
Keep an eye on the sky. That's wonderful. You got the card of grace, and there's nothing more beautiful than getting grace, giving grace, getting grace. It's the universe's blessing, and it says, open your heart to receive it. So it could be that you may be graced by some folks that are your friends, or, your family, as Kelly was talking about. It could be that when we walk in grace, we're grateful for things, and the universe responds in kind. You're in the midst of the divine flow, it says. Let go of attachment to the outcome and let the universe bring you gifts, and be open to receive. And the grace is right next to it. So be open to receive grace. Yeah. And then it says, don't forget to be curious. Oh my goodness. It's so much more fun to learn new things, to try new things. Curiosity is always, it's one of those childlike things that we all live. So yeah.
I love that.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We have one more here. Everybody, we're in our second hour. So if you just came in, our apologies. We did have a discussion about gut level and intuition and such, and we were just taking some questions to answer, but we are almost done. All right. Yeah. Gonna buy a house. Oh. So I want to tell you about something that might help you. Real estate agencies and mortgage loan officers many times get together to talk about the process of buying a house. And it could be that one of those people are available in your area. When I went, I had to go because I was trying to get into a specific program that my state originated. And I got to sit down, I got to see what different things were, what mortgage insurance was, what a down payment was, what points were, what housing is, and all of those things. And they gave me lots and lots of information so that I could make the best decisions. So that's just a comment from somebody who's done this many times and also was a mortgage loan officer and used to do it. But it says, be inspired by this. Make this something that you look at this. He's holding up an ice cream like behind the Statue of Liberty, but be inspired by someone else who's done this, or someone that can help you learn more about it. And if you do that, you're going to feel a lot better and a lot more in control, because it says things are going to work out just fine for you, but don't get too stressed out. It's not good for your health.
I love that, Aley. I pulled pleasure. And so life is deliciously joyous. And sometimes we get so caught up in the stress and all of the extra details and the stuff that consumes us about buying the house that we forget to really sit back and enjoy the process. And I know I've been guilty of that in the past. And then I get impeccability. And look at that. It looks like there's a contract right there. And it says, I'm impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. And so you know, that could very well be a contract that that you'll be signing. And then lastly, I got helpful people. So reach out to anybody, and that goes right in hand with what you said to Aley. You know, reach out to friends, family, you know, go online, do some research on tips and tricks and things to help ease the process and make it a little bit easier for you.
Are you talking about this one play, the inner child one, or are you talking about the one that has health and this one here is Etsy, and it is called the Golden Insights Oracle. And this is what I use for questions like real estate, jobs. I kind of go to that one. So yes. Oh, inner child, that one. Okay.
And I had the same problem when we were looking at houses out here. And so it's common. And the realtors that I had, there was times where I would walk into the house, I would make it past the front door, and I would look at the realtor and I would say, I have to get out, otherwise I'm going to throw up. Because the energy in the house was that bad. And it's like, I knew instantly that, okay, you know, this isn't the house. I mean, if I can't be in there without feeling like I'm going to throw up, you know, and there too, that's our compass, you know, throwing up, it comes from the stomach. And so really use that when you're out there looking at houses, and, you know, look at it as a blessing that, you know, you're able to be an empath and psychic and be able to walk into these houses and know if the energy feels good. Like when I walked into this one, I was just like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Yep. You just know, you just trust that yours is your health concern when living in a house, EMF negative. Yeah. That's interesting. The health card came up. I mean, I thought it was if you're going to be stressed out that you were going to have a problem, but if you already have these issues, that was an interesting,
Well, yeah.
Does it pass the Hurl test?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, yep. Well, and he kind of looked at me, and my husband just kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, yeah, she's really sensitive to energy. And he's like, oh, okay. But so you really, and you probably already know this, that you want to make sure that there's not a lot of power lines and stuff around where, because that, when I was looking for houses, that was really a huge factor for me, is I didn't want to have power lines being strung close to my house.
Oh yeah. I actually had a friend who built a house right beside power lines back in the 70s. And her husband had all kinds of illness, all kinds of problems. And I'm sure that was why. Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. Anyway. All right, everybody. Well, thank you. And thank you, Kelly, especially for going over with me. And we hope that you have a beautiful weekend.
Yes. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Yeah. Do you have anything going on? Well, she and I are going to be on actually tomorrow night. We'll be on with Marina for her Shine Your Light on Marina's channel. We're going to come in at 5:15 Pacific time, 8:15 Eastern time, if you want to see us again. Anyway, thank you so much.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend.